We'll talk about draft right now. RSG in first pick. Remember, this is where Team Flash truly shines. The red pick.
The red pick, 5 games out of 13 games so far, wins all 5 games at the red side. Coach Amuk starting off the bans with the Phovius and then the Lucas. Coach Z's will ban out the Boxia,
Yep.
so no change as of now. It's only the tables have turned. Coach Z is banning out the Moskov again. Don't want to give it over to the hands of CS. So one of his comfort heroes is gone and off the tables as well. I
Yep.
think both teams might want to fight for the chip. Amux might be able to open up the chip for themselves, and then Flash is forced to ban the chip, opening up a lot more resources for them.
Yep, there's also the potential of the Harif ban coming up from both of these two teams, right? Like, I feel like Harif on either side, be it CS or be it Vanix. Don't forget, this hero has been very popular for the past meta, and seems like the gold lane hasn't really switched in terms of the meta. Both maybe looking at snap pick in the first phase pick. Amongst bans away the chip, same exact ban as game number 2. We shall see how Zay's bans this one. If the script is as what I mentioned, it's going to be a Suyo
Suyo.
ban, right? That's exactly what they banned in the previous game.
Yeah. I think Coach Z's might be able to swap things out because on the second phase,
Mhm.
they can afford to pick up the Suyo for themselves, and Hades
Yep.
is a Master Suyo. You're
Assassin
farming
player.
a lot of ore faster
Yep.
in this matchup as well. And then you really want that early game momentum, early game rotations to come through as well.
Mhm,
So Farsa
mhm.
is definitely hotly contested on
Ooh.
both sides. So the Badang will be banned out right here, opening up the Fanny, the Kalea, the
Kimi.
Jusin, the Kimi for RSG. Which one will they pick?
All right, Kalia has actually enjoyed a lot of first picks, right? If you
Yep.
look for Kalia, out of the 20 times it's been picked, she's been picked 12 times. That's 70% right there. So a lot of teams have been prior picking Kalia in the first pick, but it seems like RSG decides to not go for it. We're going to secure Fanny for Yon once again. But once again, this feels like a deja vu in season number 7.
Yeah.
When you see RSG always pick something that feels like Team Flash has already cracked. Remember the Farsa
Yep.
being forced constantly? Team Flash has already know how to deal with it, and rest assured right now, Team Flash knows how to deal with this Fanny already. So I'm actually very surprised that RSG decides to go for the Fanny once again.
When in doubt, I think Yon just wants to snap pick that up. And to your point, like Kalea
Kalea.
kind of feels like the hero that is, when in doubt, just pick it up because it's
Yep.
pretty flexible. If you ask me, you can
Mhm,
still
mhm.
use Kalea in the EXP lane, so you do want that kind of flexibility. Fanny, on the other hand, very easy to read. Once the purple buff is up, you know where he'll be. The Kalea will be picked up alongside Farsa. Kalea with the Tsunami Slam, able to target onto Fanny when she flies close with the cables.
And now, if you are from the side of RSG, usually what you see from the blue side, especially blue second and third pick, you start to see a lot of teams start to pick the win conditions, like the gold laners, the mid laners around here. So we shall see whether RSG will do the same.
For RSG though, I feel like Granger or Earthel would be a better safe pick for RSG. At least you have some form of defense mechanism. Earthel can jump out of the way with a heavy crossbow and then just counter re-engage with the ultimate as well. For Granger, you can just stay and just farm
Yep.
up because now you don't really have the Moskov.
Mhm.
So for late game pressure, I think the next best choice would definitely be either the Harith or the Granger. They
There you
go
go.
with the Harith instead, as well as the Glue, so it won't be the Badang anymore.
Yep, Badung's got banned away, unfortunately for the side of, on the side of Team Flash, right? That's the slight difference in terms of the ban. So, like what I mentioned, the win cons right here, right? This is definitely going to be Harif in the hands of CS. So Team Flash knows what they have to deal with. They need to play in such a way that they push the Zaman, push Flash, Harif out of the Zaman Force. So we're looking at more zone control. RSG has secured something that can have zone control in the form of glue. I want to see more from the side of Team Flash. I want to see perhaps even like a Khalid or something that could
Yeah.
also counteract against the Fanny, because you cannot assassinate Khalid. Khalid goes into second skill to heal it up, and then your Raging Sandstorm just stuns everybody in that zone.
Hear me out. Okay, so it's
Yep.
gonna be the Hades Hayabusa once again.
All right.
Had a lot of success in the first game, so this game should be no different from the previous one. Pretty much the same hero picks as well, just without the Kalea on their side. For RSG though, might be looking for the Yeef or the Hylos, pairs very well with the Harith. Or if not, just hear me out, the Zask.
Oh yeah, Zask actually works against a Harif, right? There's a period Zask. There's a reason why Zask was, for a period of time, was the flavor of the month, because he
Yep.
wants to deal with the deal with the flying Fanny that's zooming around you
You
for
got a
some
second
reason.
life from the Dominator's Descent as well.
Exactly, and to a certain extent, Aurora looks also very interesting for the side of RSG as well, right? Your Aurora provides your second life. You can flicker ultimate, and that's a AOE zone denial against Flash as well.
Gato being banned out just to protect Cortese's Farsa from harm. Coach Mooks just barely thinking, holding on. Maybe the high loss will be banned out
Yep,
here,
there you
so
go.
no high loss for themselves as well.
High loss ban. We're start to see a lot of roam bans coming out from Flash, but RSG is also not looking to lock down Vanix even more, right? Even though Team Flash has already locked down in terms of the Moskov, already took the Harif away from Vanix. There's also a potential 1-1 that Vanix has played before.
Oh yeah,
There's
no, I
also
think
a carried as well.
previous game they banned out the 1-1 or on the side of Flash SG. But now things are changed. Harith was already picked up. What would be a good counter for the Harith in the gold lane though?
I think something that you're able to bully the Harith, right? There's a period of time, I would say, clean to a certain extent. It's kind of weird.
Would you want to go Bruno again?
Hey,
Now
Bruno
you flip the
also
script
works.
and then go straight for Flash Bruno instead.
Bruno also works, but if you notice, if you really need to get a snowball going if you're playing a Bruno against a Harith, right? It's because if you're able to deny the Harith and the snowball, the Bruno pops off even harder, but that's a single target. That's something that as a Bruno player you have to keep in mind. Your zone control as well also help, right? Especially when you go into Zaman Force, your worldy your ultimate actually bounces around everybody, because everybody when they see the Zaman Force from your team, they'll just fight inside the Zaman Force.
So now, tricky situation. Last ban for Coach Mooks in RSG. Might be able to pick out a EXP lane, so in the form of the Hilda for the side of RSG. So
Same
Flash
bans.
SG, first pick.
I think
in the second phase though.
Yep, I think definitely if you want to go back to the previous one, Hylos was banned away, which was picked by Ken. I feel like right now, Team Flash may secure a gold laner first, because I feel like Ken has been locked down, targeted like crazy. RG has already secured the EXP laner. Don't even contest the EXP laner. Go for something else.
But then the question is, what other EXP is there? No more Gato, no more.
Oh, Grandeur. That's interesting.
Cho, no more Hilda, no more Hylos. You wouldn't want to go CC on this one because Glue just has that split from his second skill anyways. So makes it a little bit harder as well. You could go for the X-Borg, give you a second life with the Firaga armor, and you have split damage as well. There's going to be a Valentina and a Grok, so trading one wall for another.
Oh, this is great, man. This is great. I love this, right? From the side of RSG, the Grok was always the answer if you want to deal with a Farsa, right? You see the further airstrike, you just send...
Pop the wall.
Just pop the wall. Not just pop the wall. You can also send your wall charge down memory lane. Man, this is taking me back to the good old times. Pepper Ridge Farm remembers, man.
Pepper Ridge Farm remembers. As long as the rock wall from the Grok doesn't block out Fanny and they're all
yeah, that's the only thing, right?
Yeah, the only thing that Badang has
now you
that is much better is that you can stop the wall. You can stop the wall if you're Badang, but you can't stop the wall. You can't push the wall down if you're a Grok. I think that is the only core difference between both these two heroes. The last pick will be the Terizla for Ken.
Huh, okay. Haven't seen...
Which is a good answer for Glue though.
Yeah, the AoE damage and the penalty zone as well, to zone down, to lock down.
Yeah, in the Zaman Force, you just need to target one specific area, and then you have that flicker combo onto Harith as well, just to lock him out. And then you have the Farsa to just give you that distance, give you that vision over onto the back line.
There you go. Zone control, you got damage down from the side of the Grandeur and also the Hayabusa. The iframes works wonders against the Fanny and the Harith as well. Kind of like what Team Flash, very creative thought process, taking a lot of hints from the past, and RSG also doing the same, right? Bringing up a Grok, which I've completely forgotten because fell off the meta a long time ago. Your CC immunity works well around the walls as well, so I really like what RSG is going. It feels like this should be the draft from the previous game as compared to that one. But don't forget the anti-synergy of the Grok wall and the Harry Zaman Force. That's something that you need to be a little bit careful about.
Well, we'll see. As we go into game number 2, Flash SG one game away from taking the series and sweeping it at 2-0 against RSG. Very high-stakes game for both teams, especially for RSG if we want to stay in the top 2. What will they do? Flash SG starting things off really strong as Jay, starting with that Glock, Curtizi taking a little bit too much damage, JPL healing everything back up for Curtizi. I like the sustain coming out from the Kalea, which gives Curtizi a second lease of life from all that side lane pressures as well. Ken doing pretty good against that glue.
Don't forget, Kalia also now has to be a little bit careful. JPL especially targeting fire. The last thing you want to do is a tsunami slam a Grok when he's CC immune. That is a massive waste of an ultimate, if you ask me, especially for the side of something like a tsunami slam, right?
Now things are getting a little bit tricky in this early game as Flash SG on the bottom side, Vanix taking a lot of hits from CS, playing a lot more aggressively, trying to deny CS of his farm, and I think it's rightfully so because Vanix is a stronger gold laner than CS, so if he is able to take control of that bottom side gold lane away from CS, it delays his farm and buys himself a lot more time on the bottom side. Now, Curtizi all alone, wings by wings to get herself away and out of harm's way on the bottom side. Oh, nice little kill by Yaw, taking 2 for the team. A split kill down the bottom side, 2 down for Flash SG.
Yep, that's the power of the Fanny, right, in the early game. The assassination landing onto Vanix is massive for the side of RSG, and now it feels like they're a lot more in control as compared to game number 1.
Turtle spawning up in 5 seconds. Flash SG getting that reset, but the 2 kills will bite them in the butt really, really soon. 1,000 gold lead down. Ken struggling to get that level 4. Just got it. JPL will start things off with the turtle. Getting another pause on the way as the wall being built up again. But, you know, hey, the early game kill pressure from that Fanny is starting to show, and that's why I think Yom prioritized it. The only issue is, will he sustain it through to the late game?
I think right now the Fannies are having a very interesting spot in this meta right now, right? The kill pressure was ultimately nerfed a lot, and you start to see a lot more tankier roams. You start to see roams packing a lot more initiation kind of thing, packing a lot more heat in terms of their HP at the same time. Your early game, you're meant to basically do stuff like this. Go around, kill, snowball. Then after that, you really get yourself into a split pusher or basically a finisher, like a janitor at the end of part of the game.
Yep.
So this is supposed to be the case for the side of a Fanny, especially in this moment.
Yeah, I think in late game also, I think Fanny has a secondary role as a demolition squad.
Yep.
And the side lane pressure, maintain that side lane pressure. You can cover that distance in a very short amount of time on towards the objectives. So RSG's, I think Achilles heel is zoning out for the major objectives like the turtle. So we'll see how things pan out in the first turtle of the game. If they manage to get it, they will be able to hold on to that momentum and snowball through that late game.
Yep.
Flash SG, as strong as they are not immortal. And even Gods fall.
Yeah, that's what happens to Kronos.
Kronos.
If you guys study Greek mythology, that is.
Oh, you are so smart.
I'm such a
Jace.
nerd.
You are
No,
so
I'm just
smart.
a nerd. I am just a nerd. But of course, there's also another thing that I think if you're Team Flash, a little bit worrisome as well. Yes, technically speaking, a Granger is supposed to be able to bully a Harry because of your range, but don't forget, we are talking about late game. If this really scales to late game, you're looking at a roster coming out from the side of Flash. No. You don't see a Granger really pop off. Granger falls off in the later parts of the game unless he gets a kill and he just snowballs out of control. If you want to talk about snowball monster, you have Harith. No, Granger is the monster of that monster, that monster.
Unlimited stacks as well, so you can spam your first skill and your ultimate. And I think Vanix is working towards that. I don't doubt him because he's still one of the highest gold GPM in the game, in the season so far as well. So we'll see how the gold lane to lane matchup works out. But the aggression coming out from Vanix, I feel like it is good. It's just that it might be a little bit too much. It might be too overconfident with himself. That there's not a lot of support, especially from Hades, because in the first game, Hades was all over the map. You look left, you look right for a career path. Is that not too much to ask for? Hades is right there.
I think partially the reason why that Granger or the Vanix decides to step forward a little bit more daring at that specific timing because the turtle is spawning. So what you expect jungles do? They are
rotate over. But then you're dealing with a Fanny though.
Correct.
Because you can play cross map away from the objective and still get into turtle on time.
Correct. So technically speaking, I think it's just Vanix dealt a certain cards from his hand. Yon did it as well, and it's unfortunately that Vanix will take the L. But don't forget, I've seen it before, especially for Grangers, right? They can be down on the count for a little bit, but once they start building up their stacks on the Sky Piercer, oh boy.
Yeah.
That's a lot of damage.
So one death is still not a big problem for
It's not
Vanix. As of
exactly
now,
as a big problem,
it's
but
still the early game, but there is still a little bit of gold behind of that Harith because of
correct.
that one solid
Correct.
lane kind of
Correct.
gold.
Right now, I think it's all about who snowballs first. If the Granger is able to snowball faster as compared to the Harith, then yes, the Granger will win. But if the Harith snowballs faster than Granger, it is gonna be RSG's game right now.
Right. Right. It's all down to timing, all down to
Definitely.
execution, and it's all down to who has the most patience. Because for Vanix, he's very aggressive, and I think that RSG could potentially use his aggressiveness against him. You know how the way he passed. 3 minutes on the get-go, the turtle spawns up. He's taking down the bottom side minions and going into the mid lane to funnel all of that gold for himself as well. So jumping into the game, starting things off with the turtle. Curtizi zoning closer out, taking a lot of damage. Ken is right there as well. Hades waiting for the right time. Yawn uses the cable in off the way. Is Jay trying to source for a little bit more information. Turtle at a quarter. He's stolen away by JPL on the back line, taking away closer as Flash SG ramping up the aggression, going for the charge. Jay still CC immune as JPL and Ken ditched for the hills. They take the turtle for themselves and took down one.
Yeah, and it's massive, right? Like the fact that JPL actually stole that turtle away, and that's why we call him the legend, right? This is a turtle that's supposed to go over the side of RSG. RSG is dictating how the gameplay is being felt like, but Flash, because of that one play, they got back a little bit. Because especially when Jay is still level 4, level 3 earlier just now. He's just got level 4. Now expect RSG to escalate in the next turtle fight.
Curtizi just sourcing for a little bit more information. But like you said, Master Uguay is just busy, giving a lot of intelligence to the rest of the team. And I think Flash SG, yes, they blundered on the early game, especially so when they didn't see the Fanny coming through. In the mid lane, there's a lot of fights going in. Tsunami slam into the Feather Air Strike, getting slammed off to the ground. And JPL gets the kill onto Jay once again.
Yep, massive fight, especially in the mid lane, I think. But I think more importantly is the Roman.
Oh, huge penalty zone, but the Tsunami slam counteract the fact that Ken got too close into the turret. Mobilize, Hades going to shadow kill onto the back line. Won't be able to find a target as Flash SG dissipates. They lose one member though.
Man, Ken flew too close to the sun. Penalty zone, if you fight within the penalty zone, you basically get a lot of benefits, but Kalia is such a very strong, Tsunami Slam is such a very strong ultimate, right? If you take a look at the replay later on, which we're going to be playing, but hold on, this is actually a team fight.
Oh, the wall actually stopped Curtizi in his tracks. Young with the wall slam and wall spam. As JPL trying to take a little bit more consolation prize off of Jay and healing everything back up. It's sort of like two immovable and unstoppable forces up against each other.
Yeah, and right now, like what I mentioned, RSG right now is stepping forward in terms of priority going to the second turtle fight. If Flash is able to win this one, they are only at a stalemate. If RSG wins this one, they're supposed to win this one because, you know, the likes of Grok has already gotten the ultimate. If you take a look at back this replay earlier just now, right? It's just the fact that Ken positioning coming in to try to punish, but ultimately Roy is holding on to the Tsunami Slam. So that was a massive initiation, but it gets countered by this. And
Yeah.
it's so easy. It looks so easy.
There's not a lot of follow-ups, and yes, he does have his ultimate, but JPL was there. Tsunami Slam already used up as well. Second turtle of the game. Doesn't look like RSG wants to contest for this one. Jay took a little bit too much damage in the replay that we watched just now. Tsunami Slam into the back line. Curtizi will fall, but not before taking out Jay in the process. CS falls as well. It's 3 down for the side of RSG. As Flash SG ramping up the aggression, ramping up the tempo. They will be able to take this objective right now.
Ken is saving his game, man. I kid you not, this kid is something. And he's going for the Terizla, this zone control. And just take a look, he's basically healing up all the smallest glues.
It doesn't really matter at this point because they want to take the key critical resources of the purple buff away from the hands of Yawn. They managed to do so. Hades, no retribution as of now. JPL down low. Ken trying to block the entrance, the advancements from them all. Yawn taking a lot of tables out of the way. Got a fair airstrike disrupted by Closer as well. Bandits is here to join the party. Hades on the back line takes down Closer as well. Splash SG and RSG. The battlefield is just desolate. It's just crazy. A lot of team fights happening.
Jerome, so let me tell you, all of a sudden I feel like Flash and RSG, that's a little bit of grudge match happening in the mid lane. It's a massive brawl. The turtle was completely forgotten until they've done their team fights, right? And if you notice, the Ken on this Terizla is just healing out of control. Closer is just providing so much heals for this Terizla. And, you know, apart from the fact that, you know, Vanix joined that fight earlier just now with that first stack goes into his Sky Piercer. He's already just built it before he joined the fight. So his timing is right. But the problem is bottom lane. It is a CS lane right now. We talk about snowballs, which one reaches first. But it feels like CS and Vanix, they are still neck and neck. It's still a stalemate for both these two gold laners.
It's difficult because RSG going for the turrets. Flash SG, no turrets taken as of now. On the bottom side, T1, there's a lot of damage taken from that turret. 3 members onto Ken. They don't see it coming. JPL tries to find an approach onto JPL. The CC immunity, the penalty zone on the way. The turn back around. It's crazy. It's mayhem. It is a disaster for RSG. Losing Roy though. Ken not in the picture anymore. Vanix getting a killing spree as well.
It is good for Team Flash right now. The Sky Piercer stacks are coming in. The stonks are coming in.
Yawn just cable spamming all the way in the purple base. Takes down JPL in the process. A counter re-engage from RSG once again. The score is 8-8. What is happening, Jays? It's just crazy. Back, left, right, and center. Just fist fights all the way through.
Yeah, like you punch me, I punch you. Eye for an eye, the world goes blind. Hey, I remember one of this. But to be honest, Vanix building on the Malefic gun right now, we talk about this. This is the game about snowballs, Churros, right? Game about snowballs. But if you want to talk about snowballs, CS is not going to be building the Sky Piercer. Vanix will be the one doing it, right? And you talk about burst damage, Kurt TZ is providing it. Ken is providing the penalty zone to basically start doing chip damage. It allows Vanix to go in smoothly. The transition for Vanix to basically come in and reap the kills against RSG is just wonderful. So right now, look at Flash. I think they're definitely in the lead in terms of this fight, but they're losing a lot of ground. At the bottom lane, at the very least, CS is also starting to farm up. So they need to play a little bit of respect over to CS. Don't fight if CS is there. Try to catch him off guard.
Flash SG making a beeline towards that Lord. They know they're starting things off though. Jay, CC immunity, airstrike already popped off. Roy taking a lot of damage. We need to be able to retreat. They don't see Closer as of now. He's waiting on that bush next to that beetle. They're starting on that Lord. But Closer keeping an eye on where the Lord is. Yawn able to use that cable to come in at any point of time. Hades catches a glimpse of Closer as the Lord gets a reset.
Well, Hades actually healed up from everything. It feels like glue is a massive problem. It's a massive problem for
RSG. Nice little wall into the flicker and wild charge. In the back line though, Closer trying to buy some time, trying to stop the engage, stop that entrance. Can't take a lot of damage from the Zaven forces. Closer is fighting 2v1. Hades down low into half health, onto Vanix, getting possessed as well. Unable to get that pull onto that. CS will be able to take care of Curtizi. Not before he flies away! Curtizi! With the wings by wings in the nick of time. My heart, my soul. The Lord still gets a reset though.
Someone gets Dr. J right here because Churros cannot breathe. He's having a heart attack. Take a look at this replay right here. You can notice what Ken is doing. Ken is single-handedly locking down 2 of the main damage dealers from the side of RSG. And if you notice Yawn and Closer, they don't even have enough damage against Vanix, against Curtizi. The balance in terms of the aggro was wonderful. And only after Ken goes down, they unlock CS. CS has already burned the Zaman Force. So it's very hard for him to basically output the damage.
Oh, and bottom side, JPL takes care of Yawn though. The Lord is open for the taking for the side of Flash. They have a better position to take this one out, but RSG looks like they're too strong to break down. Jay is 0-4-3, but that rock is just unkillable. Here comes Vanix though. A lot of hits onto Roy. Needs to be able to get a retreat, a reset onto his health as well. Hades, a little bit more information with that shadows as well. Can take a lot of damage from Jay to slow things down. Starting things off with that turtle. 4 seconds till Yawn comes back online. The penalty zone will reach onto CS. Fair airstrike will land. Vanix takes care of Roy. Hades takes care of the Lord. They were marching down the mid side. This wall charge onto 3. But here comes the cavalry. Here comes Yawn with the cleanup. The janitor comes through as 3 members fall for the side of Flash SG. The only saving grace is that they have that Lord to fight him sometime.
Yep.
Hades though, not done yet. Will be able to get in with that 1 kill and dash out of the way. Getting possessed by Closer. CS making a beeline for it. Here comes Yawn. Hades caught in the middle. No shadows, no response, no retreat.
Hades!
Hades! Better airstrike comes in just a nick of time though. Hades into the face of CS and gets himself into the graveyard.
Man, Team Flash, I don't know what they're doing. They're basically throwing every single macro out the window right here. Take a look at this replay once again. I don't know, this feels like a highlight clip after one another. To take a look at Ken and CS. Ken is trying his best in terms of making sure that Zaman Force was burnt. Then after that, he goes down a little bit slow. But take a look at the wall charge coming in. That stun coming in, the damage, and allows Yon to just spin like crazy, allowing CS to catch up. So whatever Flash is doing right. But RSG, like what I'm mentioning, CS is becoming the snowball. 6-1-5. And Phoenix, I'm not really optimistic about his Sky Piercer stacks already because he's starting to get punished.
In the late game, though, I think it doesn't really matter if you have or have not bought the Sky Piercer. Jay fell when we were watching that replay. He's 0-6-6 now, but he has so much potential right here. Closer, getting pulled back in, taking a lot of damage, just half health, able to just walk it out of the way. No response from RSG, just buying some time. But Flash SG ramping up the aggression. Both teams are still even Stevens. 1,000 gold lead for Flash SG. The kill score is negligible with 14 to 14 kills. Can still play. Coming in hard. Here comes Hades onto the back line. Finds his way onto CS. Able to get the Purify out of the way. Here comes the penalty zone from Ken. JPL with a follow-up slam. Able to get themselves alive. Curtisi, wings by wings. Closer with the possession into the face of Curtisi. Will not let him go out. Won't let that bird fly as Ken just soaking up all that damage again and again.
You're trading XP lane for a mid laner right now for both these two teams. Flash SG needs to get value out of it, and that value needs to come in the mid lane turret.
Oh, here comes Hades though. He knows where Yon is. Doesn't have the shadow kill though. He's got the shadow kill armed and ready. RSG, man. It's an all-out brawl yet again. Hades finding one again. Oh, the burn and the pop from Ken takes him out.
Yep, right now it's just about a hit and run. RSG and also Flash, they've hit enough of that, you know, snowball. In a sense, both these two teams, I agree with you, Churros. It's in a stalemate. And you can see how much Flash needs to burn in order to try. No, they didn't even take down mid lane. They tried to take down the mid lane turret for the side of RSG. Don't forget, it's a very long stretch for them to run to safety. And it's a very scary battlefield right now with Flash SG.
This is where things get dicey.
Yep.
Second Lord of the game spawned up. Ken, zoning duty, closer. Waiting in that bush, giving a little bit more information. Lord, at 3/4 of his health. Hades making quick work of it. He might be able to blitz it. Waiting for Yon to come through. Getting that reset. Closer. Buying some time.
Yep.
Goes over to the back line.
Closer is really like, he always likes to control all the way up top. So right now, Flash SG, if you notice there's a line drawn in the sand, it's not very comfortable if you're side of Flash SG. So Ken needs to get some value even more, so he has to venture deeper. But is it a little bit too deep, Churros?
Oh man. Lord, at a third. They might be able to do this. Here comes Yon in the vicinity though. Ball charge onto 3! Huge slam by Jay! Dr. J, the architect! Set things into motion! Flash SG, 2 down! Fanny goes down as well though. Who gets the Lord though?
RSG.
Lord goes over to RSG. Oh my god, 3 members down the side of Flash SG.
Yeah.
Jay, the architect, he disrupt, he protect, he defend. And he set things into motion.
Production, if I literally really want to order that replay of that team fight just now, there you go. Thank you very much. I cannot tell the difference between this replay and the previous replay because Jay has landed that wall charge at that particular spot over and over again. It feels like, you know, RSG is starting to get the mojo. RSG is starting to read Flash, and that's an adaptation that I love to see coming out from RSG.
Yeah, very good read by Dr. J. He knows where the opponents are. He knows where Flash SG likes to hide.
Yeah.
Yeah, you say it best. Now, this is the enhanced Lord, the 12-minute Lord in the possession of RSG. Marching on the bottom side, they might be able to take down that T2 as Flash SG desperately tries to fight for the high ground.
Flash. Dropping a game right here, yes, technically speaking, is not the worst thing in the world.
Don't jinx it, don't jinx it.
But Flash, man, dropping a game like this in this kind of fashion after leading a dominant lead in game number 1, this is not how you want to go, right? And don't forget, RSG, they really outperformed themselves. Jay on the Grok was a true wall card, a wall charge, mind you, against Flash SG.
Flash SG able to barely survive onto this one. The super enhanced minions coming into the picture as well. All three lanes are pushing in. Flash SG has to defend themselves and patiently fight for another wave. RSG
Yes.
makes their base Baron. You got the Shadow Kill on the back line. Finally takes down CS. They sound the alarm. They sound the horn. The penalty zone lands onto two. Boy, take a lot of hits. But here comes Vanix from the back, trying to get that free hits onto the back line. But look at where Yon is, taking control and taking out that T3 in that bottom side. Minutes are still pushing in. It's closer against three members of Flash SG. They will be able to let that T1 go. It's a huge, huge turret over to Flash SG.
No, right now, Churros, look at the other side of the map. Flash has lost 2 turrets already, and now this is just a consolation gift that RSG left behind. It is as if someone pooped onto your carpet and took away your sandals, because that's exactly what happened to me before.
Yon's been busy. Yon's been busy. So you had someone pooped on your carpet.
Yes, someone put my carpet. So one day when I was back home, someone put on my carpet, took my new sandals, and that's basically what RSG just did, right? Yes, you can take away, you can
So
take
this is
away
what
the
happens
mid
in
lane
Kuching
turret.
in East Malaysia. So if you wanna,
That's why I cannot cast.
that's why you.
I speak my mind too freely.
Hey, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Now again, Flash SG, RSG, stalemate. Once again, economy peaked at 3,000 gold, favoring the side of RSG. Right now, it's still even Stevens.
No, I would say no. RSG definitely has an edge right now. Flash needs to go back to pretend, constantly protect the base, which means that RSG has Lord priority, and that is bad. Because of Yon, as this Fanny has been flying around, creating a lot of this separate pushes. Yes, team fight-wise, Flash SG seems like they have it, but in terms of the map control, RSG has it.
Starting things off with that Lord, CS in a very good position, very defensive on their own back line. They need to be able to seek out where Yon is. At any one point of time, RSG is able to get that back line, but the Shadow Kill directly onto CS. A huge play by Hades. Boy gets popped up by the third airstrike as well. Down goes 3 as Vanix takes down another one. They're ditching that Lord. They are able to cycle through, but where is Yon? RSG might be able to hit that back line.
Hades doesn't have Shadow Kill though.
Yon versus Hades. No minions though. Hades lives to fight another day as Flash SG making beeline for the rest of the base. They're able to take down that T2. Next in line, that T3 down the mid side.
Oh, the timing coming up from Flash is just impeccable by RSG. Is just right. The Grog
Just
locks
right
them
there.
into the base.
Tsunami slam onto the wall. Yon able to survive with them. Oh, Vanix takes himself out. Down goes Jay though. He doesn't need to go down. They still have one cannon minion. That is that Winion that Flash needs.
Man, Jay's trying to pull them everything. Just look at that. He's even burning the flicker just to do so. Pulling the rest of Team Flash all outside of the map. That's exactly what Jay has to do. In the meantime, you know, it's going to be
Spot so much
Hayabusa
time, Jay!
from the side of Hades is working on the Lord right now.
Oh, look at the base, look at the base, look at the base! Oh my gosh!
Right, this is a massive emotional roller coaster, right?
Yeah.
But this team fight definitely truly makes you like the adaptations of Team Flash, and also the fact that RSG is basically using what Flash likes to do against the Hayabusa, against the Hades, right? And that's why Hades knows exactly what to do. If Hades had the Shadow Kill earlier just now, I think he used it to wave clear. That would be instant kill over the side of the Fanny. But right now, it's going to Flash. They need to win with this lot right now because they're taking a little bit too much else.
Ken with the penalty zone and the Winter Crown just to buy some time. Tsunami slam into the base. It's Flash SG. Keep getting busy onto their own back line. Getting possessed. Vanix way too far deep into that back line. He does have the immortality all bought up. He knows that if he goes down right here, it's all over for Flash SG. Down goes Kurt. Down goes Ken. Vanix takes care of closer. You still got CS left. Might be able to take this out. It's a 2v3.
No, CS and Roy, don't forget, it's also going to be Vanix. Vanix does have a lot of stacks though.
No Shadow Kill. CS takes down JPL. You still got Vanix and Hades against CS. It's CS against the world and the Lord in his possession. You have this Shadow Kill. Immortality still able. Barry surviving. Vanix taking a lot of damage though. Able to take care of that Lord. The CS might be able to clutch this out. Ooh!
I think
There's a
that's
Shadow into it as Flash takes down this game. Man, this was such a close game. I was shouting the minions because of the way that Yon created that pressure on the two side waves. No waves is safe. They have to force that retreat. So when the rest of them are coming out, when the replay started, it was, I think, Curtizi and Ken who had to get that forced retreat. So they might have lost that lord from that replay. But man, this was such a critical game. It really goes to show like how good target prioritization is, especially from side of Hades.
And Hades, I feel like they know what RSG is going for. The RSG, if you notice, John is trying to cosplay Hades, but you don't cosplay the character that you're trying to cosplay, right? You don't like, for example, you want to cosplay Naruto, you don't cosplay Naruto right in front of Naruto, right?
Why
If
not?
Naruto is a real person, that
Why
is.
not?
Because
You can just
he
be an
knows
imitator.
because he knows what you're gonna do. You saw what
Mm,
Hades did. He defended against a backdoor single-handedly, perfectly.
yeah. But the fact of the matter is, I think Jay had a heck of a game.
They did.
This game
Mhm.
per se, he knew where Flash SG was hiding.
Mhm.
He knew where they were twice. It's sort of like a very crucial issue where you fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. You got fooled twice
Yeah, they
by
did
that
not.
wall charge.
Yeah, they did not. Go. They did not like get fooled the third time, because if you notice the third time, what do? Curtizi and Hades.
They
Sorry,
split up the team fights.
Curtizi and Vanix split up.
Yes.
All right, they don't go around together. And let's take a look at the stats, ladies and gentlemen. A nail biter of a series, mind you. It was a swing. It was a complete roller coaster. It could go anywhere, churros. And I was literally on the edge of my seat if I have one.
You do have
Oh,
one.
I do have one, but I'm not sitting. But that's how much I'm on the edge I'm the edge of my emotions right now, churros. Because Flash, that was a wonderful showing as well from them, and RSG as well. They have to fight. It feels like even though they don't need to tweak their roster as much, the difference that Jay brought into this with that Grok actually confused Flash as well. It's like basically a cheese pick that RSG pulled out in the very last game of the seeded series.
At the end of the day, I think Vanix deserved the in-game MVP. However, in the entire game MVP, I feel like Hades really did the Lord's work. He went straight for CS, and without him, the
Yep.
3 kills wouldn't be there.
Yeah, the three deaths, right? Like, I think more importantly, you're right. Target prioritization. You really need to put CS out of the picture. And if you notice, in the earlier parts of the game, Ken was the one that's doing it.
Yeah.
Ken was absorbing so much damage. Just take a look. His items geared towards countering CS, countering Roy, especially when you see the Athena shield. You see the radiant armor as well being built, and of course
Yeah.
the blood wings. Then the rest is history, right? Like the fact that Ken focused down these two heroes, especially when these CS and Roy just stuck together, just pushing them away. But Yon is actually outputting the damage, right, in the front lines against Vanix, against Curtizi, Closer also adding on to the damage, and also the CC, and also the slows, making it really hard to basically path away from Yon.
Man, there's nothing else to be said about this game. What a performance by both of these two teams. Absolute cinema, I would say, as they fight for, I wouldn't say tournament lives, but seeding into the playoffs. And
Yes.
Flash SG, fortunately, got the top slot right now. There's no contest. In RSG's tournament lives, especially to the playoffs, are at stake and in the hands of Team Evil and Kingdom Esports.
Yeah, definitely, right? Like, this RG, man, like, even though they dropped this particular game, but I like this, right? This
Yeah.
game is not as dominating for the side of Flash in game as compared to
As
game number
game
one.
one.
Game number two, they had a fighting chance. And they made it look easy, right? They made Jay's role look so good and so easy. And it's so much damage that, for the side of Closer and Yon, these are AoE damage, whereas CS and Roy are so busy dealing with Ken.
Man, at the end of the day, though, I think Vanix really proved himself, especially in the first minute
Hmm.
or first 2 minutes, getting a easy kill, giving up an easy kill over to Yon, and him really showing up in the later stages of the game, getting the most kills. And even though Closer was always with him,
Wow.
it was just, man, evil. It was just Flash showing that dominant performance.
Yeah, it's absolutely true, right? Like the fact that RG was able to really climb back. I really hope. Unfortunately, I want more of that.
I want more of that as
I
well.
I will be that guy.
That was so exciting. That
Yeah,
was like
that was exciting.
that was a
I was
all-out
like,
brawl, brother.
I will press the replay button right there and then, because I want to
Yeah.
experience it true firsthand. Because RSG put up such a wonderful fight against Team Flash.
Yeah. Man, I do miss it.
Yep.
But we'll see who the MVP is right on this graphic here. It's Ken. You got it right. 369. What a beautiful number for his KDA.
Yeah, it's on in the multiples of 3. And of course, look at the damage taken, bro. 170k damage taken. That's the amount of damage that he has soaked up dealing with the 2 damage dealers, and he's just one man. And he's a small little boy if you meet him on in the live
Yeah,
audio.
I got his Evo autograph last season.
Mm.
Man, this really brings a whole new dimension to how Terizla is being brought out into this current meta. Like facing up against Glue, he knows which hero to pick. He's not even building up the War X. He knows that he doesn't need that spell vamp because all he needs is basically just pure defense items. Build the Festival of Blood, just heal and sustain everything all up, and there you have it. I mean, there's nothing much to go along with this. Yes, he had a sticky start where there's not a lot of follow-ups, but he's pulling and baiting out all of these critical tsunami slams away from Cortese, away
Roy.
from Vanix, away from the
Yep.
rest of the teams, and into himself.
Yep.
And I think that was just immaculate gameplay
Yeah,
from Ken.
we talk about selfless roams. Now we're talking about selfless EXP laners that allows Kalia
So
to do.
are you incinerating that Diablo's not selfless?
He's been very selfful.
Selfful? You want to say anything on
What
stream,
less
man?
than 4, right?